Okay, so taking a look at people and machines. Now, the automobile seemed like the ideal machine until scientists discovered that a specific additive. Now, this specifically was lead tetraethyl, was polluting the atmosphere, and specifically the lead portion. Now, lead helped the gasoline burn much more efficiently, right? But it also happened to cause health problems. So now in Canada, all gasoline is sold lead-free, and all vehicles use lead-free gasoline. It's no longer a problem in terms of the lead. However, we still have products that do pollute the air. Okay. Now, the development of machines has brought both pleasure and comfort to societies. But there's always a negative side, and there's always problems and challenges that come with it. Thinking back to the Industrial Revolution, the steam engine absolutely transformed society. In terms of mobility, people being able to move across continent, around the world, it became absolutely huge. Where before, there was actually very little. The steam engine totally changed that. And it was in the late 1700s that it transformed England and specifically the world. England, France, and Spain being probably the largest of those. The idea of how to build machines and engines to drive them led to a rapid development, and the mass production industry. Now, when we talk about the mass production industry, what we're referring to is making large quantities of objects, of products, by a standardized process. Now, one of the companies that has done this very well is IKEA, where you've got this big, huge store, right, where all the products are put into these tiny little boxes so they ship well. The IKEA process, in terms of making sure that you do have all the pieces, the instructions don't even require you to the ability to read, and to build these things and send these things on huge crates. If you've ever been to IKEA, and it all kind of looks the same. It all looks good. You got huge quantities in a standardized process, and everybody floods to the IKEA store in order to get this. That would be an example of the mass production industry. Now, industrialization led to a great social change in terms of how we process things, and transformed the rural to an urban society, where people were now moving into cities in order to deal with all the factories and everything else, and then all the industry that ran around that, where before most places were actually quite small and things were very much spread out. Now, do the needs or wants of society result in technology, or does technology change the needs or wants of society? Pause now. Put your thoughts down. Do you think the cities are so large because we have vehicles? Or do you think we have vehicles because our city are so large? Again, pause the video. Write down your thoughts. Reality is that our societal needs and our technological abilities these things go hand in hand. Society leads to the driving of technology, and technology leads to changes in society. And we see this kind of circular component. And it's really a chicken or egg type argument. The fact is that it's not that one comes first, so to speak. It's that they continually feed each other. So to say these questions here, really, there is no one right answer. It's just thinking about the way things are and what can be and what the desires of people are. Now, in the 1970s, there actually began a fuel shortage. And the negative environmental effects caused by fuel combustion were very prominent. Many people's attitudes changed, and so did their vehicles. They became much smaller, more aerodynamic, more fuel efficient. Just to name a few. As we take a look at kind of some of the things that went on, we really started to take a look at design process. Now we must always start with a clear understanding of the function of any structure that we're putting together. Clear understanding of what the technology can do. Right? Sometimes we're forced to ask some very difficult questions. A lot of times, solutions are not easy nor obvious. We're going to always have to weigh the positive and the negative effects of technology or a new discovery. And there's going to be times where we might consider choices between societal needs or the environmental needs. But ultimately, what we're always looking for is comfort. Something that's always evaluated over our designs and tested for comfort. It's called ergonomics. Right? Wheelchairs have become much more ergonomic. Comfortable and fitting the body, and much more maneuverable. Okay. Thanks for watching, everyone.